Hello guys, how's it going? So, set 4, we are about 75 to 80% of the way through. The artwork is coming through really nice and fluid. And today I'm going to be revealing a couple of sneaky previews. As you can see on screen, we have got a random number generator. And we've got basically between 1 and 75. And we're going to pick out 4 random numbers. And I'm going to be revealing 4 random cards from set 4. These are obviously, as you can see on screen, they are completely random. So we could get 4 commons, or we could get 4 royalty rares. I don't care what number it shows, whatever number is on that screen, you guys will be seeing. And these are probably the first few cards officially released with their full body text for set 4. I've teased a lot of cards recently, a lot of characters, a lot of art pieces, but nothing to this scale. So with set 4, the artwork I believe has vastly improved as a couple of examples, and I hope you guys can see these on screen. These are just a couple of examples as to what we're looking at. Obviously you compare these to set 1, and I personally feel that there's been a massive improvement in the artwork, and there is more art yet to come. Colour and digitise, etc, etc. So onto the random number generator. I'm just using Google's own random number, so we're going to get straight into it. And the first card is 47. So 47 is... So we've got an uncommon weapon, which is Honor Bracer. It costs 1 red and 1 blue elements. It's an uncommon, which is not the best, but it's not the worst. This unit gains 200 HP. When this unit misses in battle, you may draw a card. So, if you're all in for card drawing, then your units which miss the most, this is probably worth throwing that onto one of them, because that way, if they miss, usually if you've got a high miss chance, they've got a very high base attack. So if they hit, they're going to be dealing a lot of damage. If they miss, you get to draw a card, and on top of that they're getting a tasty little 200 HP boost. So for 2 elements, I think that's a pretty decent uncommon for this set. Moving on to the next one, 35. So number 35 is Enchanted Arbor. Alright, so we've got a rare special terrain here now. I love the artwork in this piece. Special terrain card 35, as you can see in the bottom right corner, it can generate an element of any colour. Now, and terrains what do this are massive in the game, and they can be quite game changing. So the rules on this one is this terrain will only generate an element if there is a nymph or butterfly occupying it. So you have to have a nymph or butterfly unit on that terrain for it to generate its element. Underneath that, nymph and butterfly units here cannot be targeted by enemy action cards. So it puts that wonderful umbrella over the unit which is occupying that terrain. So if you've got a weak unit, which is probably a must or a supportive unit, you can drop it on this terrain, get your 3 elements of any colour, and then obviously it also creates like a hexproof type thing over the units. So again, if you try and design a nymph butterfly deck, which is probably going to be the way forward in set 4, then you definitely want to have 2 of these in your deck. Moving on to card 3, so we've had 1 uncommon and 1 rare. Number 54, 54 is Northern Sunplant. Now this is a part of a 3-piece, where you've got the Northwood Sunplant, you've got the Eastern and the Western. And this is the one that goes in the middle. So it's a relic, an uncommon at that. Love the artwork on it. This one actually took me longer than it should have to design. And it says, if this is placed on your core, butterflies here gain 300 HP. Now obviously it is quite an expensive relic. It costs 2 green and 2 white. So it should give your units a pretty decent buff. And then it says, whenever you play a butterfly on this stack, you may draw a card. So this is when you play a butterfly onto the stack. Play means you've got to play it from your hand, not when you move a unit onto the terrain. And that's basically what a lot of the butterfly units do in this game. They are more so all about card draw. I know the game can get a bit slow at times, so butterflies are an essence of speeding up gameplay. So yeah, that is the Northwood Sunplant, and we are moving on to the 4th card. So we've had 2 uncommons, 1 rare. Let's see if we can pull a royalty rare. 18. So 18 is... oh, and it is a royalty rare. Now, this card has been shown. This is the collaboration with one of the fellow HTCG creators. There should be a... I need to edit this card a little bit. Where it says Wrath of Course, it should actually have the creator's name in there. Well, this is Regius, the Dimension Breaker. He costs 4 blue. Obviously, it's a royalty rare. A human, 600 base attack, 600 HP. And whenever he enters, you may move another unit you currently have in play to another terrain you own. It can still attack this turn. So this is really good if you need to get one unit from one side of the field to the other side of the field to gain a certain particular buff. And the best thing is it can still attack that turn, because when you normally move units, they cannot attack. Misses on a 1, 2 to a 3, just a regular hit is hit and draw a card, so that's really good. 4 is hit, retracts an enemy unit from battle. 5, hit, return a unit back to that player's hand. And 6, hit, return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Now this could also be tied in with Crystal Golem and the likes. And so obviously in the name, Dimension Breaker, this card is all about like teleportation, and that's what his role is in the other HTCG creators game. I can't remember if I've revealed this one to you guys before. I know I've shown you guys the artwork, so just to be sure, I'm gonna draw a 5th card from this random number, and that is 51. I've definitely not shown you 51, and it's a rare. And it's actually Kira. So Kira is in every single game, every single set should we say. She's been in set 1, 2, 3, and she has now come back into set 4. Obviously I feel like the artwork has vastly improved over the years, and she sports her traditional physical warrior look. This time she only costs 2 white. In the past she has cost at least 4 elements to get into play. 400, 300 units, misses on a 1, hits on a 2, 3, 3, 5, is a hit, and she gains 100 HP, making her 4/4. And then on a 6, your units gain 100 attack and 100 HP this battle. That's all of your units. For a 2 cost, this card is beastly. Okay, so set 4 is going to be a little bit different. Where we have always had starter decks or pre-constructed decks in the past, we are not going to be having any of them. Usually it's 1 or 2, you know, like something versus something. But set 4 is going to be different. We're not going to be having a starter deck. This is not only a personal choice, but I feel like the way the game is going currently and what's happened in real life, such as the flood I had back in January and multiple other things what have happened, I've not had a great deal of time to actually put together a theme deck, so we're not going to be having a theme deck this time around. That is also a good thing, because that means we will be having many more cards for you guys to pull in the booster packs. So yeah, I need to have your guys and girls input on that. Something different, but I think it can get away with it. Next up, so something not quite set 4 related ish. You may have noticed that my YouTube logo has changed to a vector art piece, which was beautifully crafted by Scott Hardy from Ellumacent Souls. He has taken my set 3 Raynus and vectored it into this piece of artwork. This is an absolutely stunning piece of artwork, and you can actually compare this to the one from set 3, the Raynus. Obviously this is the main character in my game. He's appeared in every single set, and he has been one of them characters which a lot of people know, because in set 1 he had the idea of travelling to other creators' TCG games. So that has kind of made him like the legacy icon of my game, and this is what we are looking at on screen. You may have also noticed this design with a blue border around. If you look around on Discord or certain other YouTube videos what I've put up recently, and that is for something to come up in the near future. So thank you Scott for this art piece. It is a wonderful piece, and don't forget guys to go over and check his channel. Next part of the video is the lore. So the lore for set 4. I couldn't have made that rhyme any better, to be fair. So set 4 is initially based after set 3. So in set 3 the dragons and the demons it's like a war between the two of them, and in the process they are knocking out the human race. Set 4 sees the introduction of a new nymph type unit. Now these creatures, these units, or this race, haven't been very seldom made an appearance. I mean, one card made an appearance in set 3, and there's some lore to that card as to what's going to happen. And basically, they were scared of the humans, the human race. But when they realised that a particular race was becoming extinct, they decided to step in. And obviously, with them being nymphs, they have this magical, wonderful ability to be able to very rarely and very carefully turn back time. So they managed to create a portal, what takes them back to the days of set 1, which is GVE, before a lot of cards were put into this game, a lot of types, thinking that they can go back in time to prevent the one thing what has started everything from the arse end of set 1, which is the creation of Alto, the Soul Herder. Ever since he was around, and once he died, he created the elemental units, which was in set 2. Once the elemental units started kicking up a fuss, that then rolled into set 3, where the dragons awoken, and then obviously caused disturbance with the demons, which resulted in the extinction of the human race. So then now we're going back to set 1, which is where they want to put a stop to Alto before he reveals his wary head. In the process of creating a portal and then successfully making their way back to set 1, there is a particular character who happens to be nearby, who managed to sneak up. Now from set 1 days, you may recognise this card, Ulsa. She's one of the Mage Sisters, and the poor girl has only ever made one appearance in set 1. Poor girl, pretty much every other sister has made a reappearance in multiple other sets, apart from Ulsa. We're going to be reintroducing her. She happens to stumble across this tear in time. She stumbles across, and you may have seen this card on my Discord channel. A wonderful piece with some different special effects what I don't usually utilise. Paradoxal Moment, costs 1 green and or black and 6 random colours of any colour. Royalty rare action card. Look at the top 10 cards of your deck. Divide them into 2 piles and allow your opponent to choose one to put in your consume pile. You may play the cards in the remaining pile for free. Any card you did not play goes straight to your hand. This is a monster of a card. This is literally one of them late game bloomers where you can just... This will literally help you win pretty much any game. Imagine pulling into a Crystal Golem or other multiple really hard, really powerful cards, units. You could even try and speed play this card by utilising elemental boosters from set 2. Ulsa manages to pull through this portal, and she shouldn't be able to, but for some reason she does. Now the weird thing is, in set 1 she had her abilities. Set 4 she doesn't. That's because, and here's the new artwork for her. No Discord, don't open Discord. This is the new artwork for Ulsa. It's kind of just dawned on me that it reminds me of a moment from the latest Sword Art Online series. So on the left screen, Ulsa has her powers. Set 4, before she goes into the portal, she doesn't. Now, for anybody who kind of thinks about that a little bit more carefully, when she passes through the portal, the nymphs realise, and they actually get on with Ulsa very well, and they imbue her with the properties of becoming a mage. Not only just any mage, the mage of nature, green, vines, health, healing, so on and so forth. That can only mean that the Ulsa from set 1 is the Ulsa from set 4. Ooh, back comes the paradoxal moment. And also, this also introduces, or should I say plays into Timeless Night, which is a collaboration piece from Extremely Average Games. And just look at that lore text. Woo! I have come to rectify the problem. So for now I'm going to leave set 4 at that, because I think that's some pretty cheesy storytelling right there. And if you've got any questions about that, then be sure to post in the comments down below. So yeah, the only other thing really I want to say is this artwork from Ellumacent Swords, which you've probably seen with a blue background, then it's probably about time that you guys should know that. Woo! Alright guys, I'm going to end it there. I shall see you in the next video. Toodaloo.